Beyonce's Cowboy Carter already broke a major Spotify record. Beyonce's Cowboy Carter is Spotify's most streamed album in a single day in 2024. Shout out to Beyonce. We're already 3 months in officially, and she's killing it, man. Most recently, Beyonce just released her newest album, which is called Cowboy Carter. It's got over 20 songs, 27 songs to be exact. And I'm going to talk about some of the songs that I thought were really done well. We're going to talk about some of the collaborations that she did on the album and where you can find some of the new and up and coming artists she supported on this album too. But most importantly, this album was pretty groundbreaking when it comes to Beyonce specifically being able to cross over into another genre almost fully on this album, just because she has so many songs on here that are more in the country genre. And she's already made history with her Texas Hold'em song, which we're going to talk about in a second too. But I listened to the entire album. Y'all have to let me know what you think in the comments and in the chat, where you rank this album, which songs that you like. I can give y'all a quick list of the songs that I liked on this one. She did her own version of Blackbird, which obviously, as a lot of y'all know, is by the Beatles. Great job on that one. 16 Carriages, great one. Protector, I love the lyrics on this Protector song. It was a very interesting take. As well as Texas Hold'em, we know that's the most popular one off of the album so far. We've got Bodyguard, and then we've got Jolene. She did a great job with this one too. I let my family listen to it. They enjoyed this one as well. Y'all have to let me know where this Jolene version ranks amongst some of the other ones that have been redone, because I know a few people have recorded and redone Dolly Parton's song, which she actually got a shout out and a co-sign from Dolly Parton on this, which was really dope too. We've got Spaghetti, and this one was featuring a newer artist. I'm gonna mispronounce his name, but it's Shabuzi. Super dope artist. I looked up some information about him. Y'all make sure you go check him out. Alligator Tears was a good one. We've got Just for Fun with Beyonce and Willie Jones. We're going to talk about Willie Jones in a second. She did one with Miley Cyrus, Most Wanted. I really like that one. Post Malone, Levi's Jeans. We've got the Linda Martell Show. Y'all, a lot of y'all may or may not know the history behind Linda Martell. Go check her out. She's done a lot of things for not only the Black community, but for country music too. We've got Yaya, Riverdance, and Tyrant, which was featuring Dolly Parton as well. And it was also rumored that there was a cameo, or I don't even want to say a cameo, but there was a Taylor Swift feature on this album too. If you listen, I'm not going to spoil it for y'all. I'm going to let you guys listen to the album, but it sounded like there was a little bit of a Taylor Swift feature on one of the songs. It hasn't been verified yet, and she doesn't have credits on the song. So we're going to leave that one alone. Now, a lot of y'all know how I already feel about Beyonce going into the countryside. If that's what she's actually doing, I think it's amazing that she is making this move, because not only does it allow her to get more bigger fan base, more accolades, but she is actually doing something that hasn't been done before. And she's already breaking records with Texas Hold'em and the release of this album. So we definitely want to talk about some of the features that were on this album, which I think was super cool. And let me actually, before I do that, before we talk about the features, and we're going to do that one last, I want to talk about some of the history that Cowboy Carter is making. This article came out a few days ago once the album dropped. Shout out to Beyonce. It says Beyonce's Cowboy Carter already broke a major Spotify record. Beyonce's Cowboy Carter is Spotify's most streamed album in a single day in 2024. Shout out to Beyonce. We're already 3 months in officially, and she's killing it, man. I know a couple of y'all in the chat are saying some of the songs that you like. Yeah. It says it's been less than a day since Beyonce finally dropped her Cowboy Carter album, and the project is already breaking records. The album is officially Spotify's most streamed album in a single day in 2024. The streaming service announced on Friday, March 29th. This is the first time a country album holds the title this year. All right. There she goes, shutting it down already. Before the album's release, Texas Hold'em was streamed over 200 million times. And Texas Hold'em is amazing. I like that one too. That's not the only record that the album broke. Cowboy Carter has the biggest debut to date, earning more first day streams on Amazon Music globally than any of her previous albums. Yep, this is one of the great things of opening up your fan base. You get your music out to more people. Now think of all the people who would never listen to Single Ladies or anything off of Renaissance, but now they have the opportunity to listen to some Beyoncé music. This is such a dope move by her. The album marks the most first day streams for a country album by a female artist in the history of Amazon Music. Sheesh. The 27-track album features a whopping list of star-studded collaborators, including Miley Cyrus, Post Malone, Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, Linda Martell, Tanner Adele, Willie Jones. I'm gonna mispronounce this name, so I apologize. Raphael Sadiq, hopefully I said that right. The Dream, Shabuzi, and more. The project also features the Billboard Hot 100 chart topper, Texas Hold'em. All right, just a little bit more and then we'll move on to the next article. This album has been over 5 years in the making. Beyoncé wrote of the project on Instagram earlier this month. It was born out of an experience that I had years ago where I did not feel welcome. And we talked about that in the previous video of some of the struggles she had to go through before this album even dropped. And it was very clear that I wasn't. But because of that experience, I did a deeper dive into the history of country music and studied our rich musical archive. It feels so good to see how music can unite so many people around the world while also amplifying the voices of some of the people who have dedicated so much of their lives to educating on our music history. Yeah, shout out to Beyoncé. She's really bringing a light to a lot of the history of music, the history of country music, especially because as some of y'all may not know or may know, it is rooted in a lot of the Black community's music when it comes. Same thing with bluegrass, gospel. A lot of these genres started and were started by Black artists, which is dope. The one thing I want to focus on is some of the features that she had on her album. And it's cool because she actually brought light to an artist that I had heard about and actually hadn't listened to his music until I heard one of his songs on this album. But Beyonce's Cowboy Carter featured list is absolutely loaded. Linda Martell, Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton, Post Malone, and Miley Cyrus. And they left out one of my favorite ones in there, which we'll get to in a second. Today's the day. After months of anticipation, Beyonce has finally released Cowboy Carter, the country-inspired follow-up to Renaissance. Cowboy Carter is the second entry in a planned trilogy of albums, which is, I know, exciting for a lot of her biggest fans. Though the artist just revealed that it was meant to be Act 1, I was initially going to put Cowboy Carter out first. So you've been working on this for a long time. I know she said 5 years, but it's probably realistically been longer than that. I was initially going to put Cowboy Carter out first, said Beyonce in a press statement. But with the pandemic, there was too much heaviness in the world. I wanted to dance, but I had to trust God's timing. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Like its predecessor, Cowboy Carter featured plenty of stellar collaborations. First up, the budding country stars Tanner Adele, Brittany Spencer, and Tiara Kennedy, who appear on the cover of the Beatles' Blackbird, which she did a great job with too. If y'all haven't heard that, make sure you go listen to it. In the Cowboy Carter version, Beyonce trades the Beatles' hum for a smoky blues melody later on. Her youngest daughter, I'm gonna pronounce the name wrong. I don't know. Listen, y'all, I don't follow Beyonce like that, okay? I'm just a fan of the music. Rummy, hopefully I said that right, gets a brief cameo to request the lullaby. Cue Protector, Beyonce's touching ode to motherhood. Yeah, Protector was a really good track. She did a great job with that one. All right, now here's everybody who's on the album, and I want to focus on a specific artist that they mentioned a little bit later. The country legend Willie Nelson makes an appearance in a radio show inspired interlude. Welcome to the Smoke Hour on KNTRY radio, which was dope. She's also got Dolly Parton on there. Later on in Spaghetti, Beyonce loops in Black country star Linda Martell to talk about the concept of legacies before breaking into a rap duet with Shabuzi to remind us of their star power. Yeah, he did a great job on that one too. So one of the artists that they didn't mention in this article is this artist titled Willie Jones. Now, I don't know, y'all will have to tell me if you've heard of Willie Jones, if you listen to Willie Jones. I hadn't heard of him until this song came out, but shout out to Willie Jones. He's a super dope artist, has a great sound. And I actually went on to listen to some of his music once I was done listening to the album. But shout out to Willie Jones. He got his start on the X Factor. It says now he's featured on Cowboy Carter. Real quick, Willie Jones first popped onto the music scene as a young contestant on the singing competition, the X Factor, in 2012. He's been making music since then, but there hasn't been a lot that he's dropped. The Shreveport, Louisiana native stood in front of the X Factor judges Simon Cowell, Britney Spears, L.A. Reid, and Demi Lovato over a decade ago and impressed them with his range and rich tone. All right. His new collaboration with Beyoncé, the hauntingly introspective ballad Just for Fun, showcases Jones' velvety vocals.
Hey, yo.
He joined. That's one way to explain it. Jeez. He joins other emerging country artists of color featured on Cowboy Carter, including Shabuzi. Yeah, and we already read their names already. So if y'all haven't go listen to that one, especially, I know I see Jen over there, you're going to enjoy this album. Go check him out. And especially Willie Jones. I want to give him a shout out too, because again, I hadn't heard of him before, but I definitely had to go check him out. Y'all can find him on Instagram. It looks like he recently signed to Sony Music, so he's getting his music pushed a little bit more and was able to partner with Sony. And I thought I gave him a follow earlier too. Go ahead and give him a follow. And you can find his music. He just released this album, Something to Dance To. And I think I was on the 4th song, A Little Vibe. But these first 3 songs, man, great.